ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। 77th class. Please repeat after me. Vasudevendra Yogindram
Vasudevendra Yogindram
Nattva Jnanapradam Gurum
Nattva Jnanapradam Gurum
Mumukshunam Hitarthaya
Mumukshunam Hitarthaya
Tattvabodho Bhidiyate.
Tattvabodha vidhiyate.
Atma tarhi kaha
Atma tarhi kaha
Satchidananda Swarupaha
Satchidananda Swarupaha
Satkyam
Satkim
Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sat
Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sat
Chitkim
Chitkim
Jnanaswarupaha
Jnanaswarupaha
Anandaha kaha
Anandaha kaha
Sukaswarupaha
Sukhaswarupaha
Evam Satchidanandaswarupam
Yevam Satchidanandaswarupam
Svatmanam Vijaniyat
स्वात्मानं विजानीयात्.
This is the definition of Atma. Definition is presented through the Lakshana. Atma Lakshanam. This is the Lakshanam only for Atma. No other thing can have this Lakshana. Therefore, Atma is the only Vastu. Everything is Avastu. Avastu doesn't have its own existence. Avastu, in the language of Gita, Asat, Atma is only Sat. And the Sat Atma doesn't have non-existence. It means it is existent all the time. And the Asat, Avastu, Mithya, doesn't have absolute existence. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says in the Gita. Na asato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Asataha bhavaha na vidyate. Sataha abhavaha na vidyate. Double negative. So the Sat, Atma is Sat. What is that Sat? If you analyze grammatically also, the word Sat, it is a Shatranta Padam. Sat, derived from the Dhatu Astatu. What is the meaning of Asdhatu? As means Sattayam, that which is, we say Asti, Vrikshaha Asti, Ankuraha Asti, Mrigaha Asti, Mayuraha Asti. Everything is Asti, Asti, Asti. It is, it is, it is. That is the Asdhatu. From that Asdhatu, adding a Krit Pratyaya, Shatru Pratyaya, you get the form Sat. So Sat is there all over. Sat is there all over and all the time. That is why the definition is Kalatrayepi. Why it is defined in terms of time only? By defining in terms of time, Kalatrayepi Tishtati, the time-wise limitation is negated. The time-wise is, if you take any object, anything, it exists. It exists in time. And time involves, time when you say space also is there. Because an object cannot exist simultaneously in two or more than two different places. If it is here, it is not there. If it is there, it is not here. A tree is there, it is here. The tree is not there. It is here means it is located in a particular place, confined to a space. And that is not the same tree all the time. The tree what I saw yesterday is not a tree now. It is different. The tree 1 year before, it was not that much tall. The tree 10 years before, it was a plant. And before that, it was in the form of the sprout. Before that, it was in the form of seed. Before that, it was inside the fruit. Before that, it was inside the flower. Before that, it was in the tree, its parent tree. It goes on and on. So therefore, the tree with its shape and form, what you see, it exists. The tree also is an integral part. What is a tree? Really, if you analyze it, is mithya. A tree, when you say, when you take, what is a tree? Is it a trunk? Can you call the trunk as a tree, or the leaf, or the branch, or the root, or the stem, or the fruit, or the flowers, or the leaves? Which is a tree? Tree is a assemblage. Tree is an assemblage. It is put together. Everything put together. When these are put together, it is called a tree. And the tree exists in time. It exists in time and it has a place. So when you say time, it was not the tree yesterday or 10 years before. The tree was not there. It is now, and tomorrow it may not exist. After a few years, it may not exist. So, therefore, every object, everything has got time-wise limitation. When you say time, therefore, space also walks in. So, time-wise, space-wise, limitations are there. To knock off that limitation, when you knock off the time limitation, space limitation also goes away. And when you talk about Atma, which is Sat, Sat means that existence. That existence continues to be. That existence cannot become non-existence. As I said, in this example itself, the tree, what you see now, it was in the form of a plant before. So therefore, tree is now, it was plant before. So that time plant is, and before that it is sprout. Sprout is in that particular time, sprout is. Before that it was in the form of seed. Seed is, if you go on, so it was the parent. So in the parent tree, the tree is. In the parent tree, the flower is. In the parent tree, the fruit is. And inside the fruit, the seed is. That isness, the existence continues. Now the seed, when it is sowed in the land, in the sand, then it grows into a sprout. Sprout is, and the sprout has now become a plant. Plant is, and the plant has become, yeah, a tree. A tree is, and the tree grows. It is all the way. It is the tree. Suddenly, it has not come. The existence. The tree is there. Tree is only a kalpita. It is kalpita on the existence. Now it is kalpita on the tree is kalpita on existence. Previously on the existence, plant was kalpita. Previously, before that, sprout was kalpita. And before that, seed was kalpita. And before that, it was in the fruit. Fruit was kalpita. Before that, flower. Before that, parent tree. All the way, the existence continues. That change what has happened, that nama rupa, all these are kalpita on this astitvam. And the astitvam, you can destroy the seed. By destroying the seed, it becomes a plant. The seed is, the nama rupa changes into a plant, but the isness, the existence continues. Seed is, now the plant is. Now plant is destroyed. It is, tree is now. So seed is, sprout is, plant is, tree is, all the way the existence continues. Because it changes its nama rupa, the existence doesn't get changed or doesn't get destroyed. In the destruction of the sprout, there is the destruction of the seed, there is a sprout. In the destruction of the sprout, there is a plant. In the destruction of plant, there is tree. So all the way, the something is destroyed and something comes up, but existence, that astitvam, that asti, the sat, that continues all the way. That is why sataha abhavaha na vidyate. Sat cannot become non-existence. In fact, all the Namarupa, when they have existence, even the language we say seed is, the word very seed, when you say, it has gained its existence because of is. The is existence. Seed is means seed exists. That existence of the seed is because of existence. So, therefore, existence alone exists all the time. So, time also, time is, that is also existent because of this existence. Sat. We say samayaha asti. When you say samayaha, time is, time exists. It is mithya, the mithya exists. That's why it's mithya. It doesn't have absolute existence. Time doesn't exist absolutely. So by negating time, you are negating the time-wise limitation. When time-wise limitation is negated, space-wise limitation also negated. So that which doesn't exist in time, that which doesn't, it's not confined by time, that which is not confined by space. So therefore, kalatraye api tishtati, sarvada tishtati. An object, when you say exist, it has got time-wise, it has got time-wise limitation and object and space-wise limitation and even object-wise limitation. But Atma, which is Sat, it is free from limitations. By knocking off the timeless limitation, here the author says the Sat is what absolutely exists. It means absolute existence. That is why we translate the word Sat as absolute existence. So the existence is what really exists. That alone lends existence to the objects, things, or the persons. If you take the person, now we have taken the example of a tree. The same thing if you take that of a person, the Sukshma Shariram exists. Sukshma Shariram really, it is Jada. And it is Jada, but it exists. The Sukshma Shariram exists. Doesn't have absolute existence because it is also an assemblage. It has got anga, the different parts are there put together. It's an assemblage. Therefore, being an assembly has got parts, and parts also have got subparts. So everything is put together. Therefore, it cannot have absolute existence. And the word what we say, the language we use, body is the stula shariram, the physical body is. The physical body doesn't exist on its own. The existence because of Sat, the physical body is. Minus is the physical body doesn't exist. Sukshma Sharir, the Stula Shariram is. Now Stula Shariram will get destroyed. It has got limitation, time-wise limitation, space-wise limitation. Kale Gachati goes away. When Sukshma Shariram is gone, then what is the isness continues in the form of Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram is. The Sukshma Shariram also goes away. When does it goes away? In the wake of Jnanam. Sukshma Shariram of a Jnani, and therefore the Karana Shariram. Sukshma Shariram, that which has got all the Saptadasha Kalabhigis, 17 components, the mind, etc. In the wake of Jnanam, that goes away. Sukshma Shariram is gone. The Jnanam knocks off the Abhimana with the Sukshma Shariram. And Maranantaram, the Karana Shariram. The Karana Shariram is, that also goes away for Jnani. For Ajnani, continues. Sukshma Shariram is. Now, Sukshma Shariram further, if it is further reduced, then it becomes Karana Shariram. Karana Shariram is. And if you reduce Karana Shariram, then what is? Karana Shariram doesn't have another Karana Shariram. If it has another Karana Shariram, then that Karana Shariram must have another Karana Shariram. And that Karana Shariram, if it has another Karana Shariram, it goes on and on. So it will lead to Anavastha dosha, infinite regression. It's a dosha, it's a defect. Therefore, we have to stop with Karana Shariram. So, in the destruction of Stula Shariram, the existence, the isness is with the Sukshma Shariram. Similarly, in the destruction of Sukshma Shariram, the isness with the Karana Shariram. When the Karana Shariram also goes away, then the isness is with what? It is all the time, it is with Atma only. Atma is. It is not with the Atma. It is not one of the property possessed or attributed to Atma. Atma is Sat. That Atma alone is there all the way because Atma is, therefore Karana Shariram is. Because Atma is, therefore Sukshma Shariram is. Because Atma is, therefore Stula Shariram is. At the destruction, in the destruction of Stula Shariram, the isness, the Atma doesn't get destroyed. Similarly, when the Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram goes away, then the isness, the Sat, the Atma doesn't get destroyed. It is there. That is what is there all the time, and that is what remains when everything goes away. So, with regard to any object or any person, this Sat, Atma alone exists, continues to exist. An object has got space existence, object existence. The existence absolutely exists. The time is kalpita on the existence. Similarly, space is kalpita on the existence. The namarupa kalpita on the existence. All these are mithya, they undergo changes, variety of changes. But that which doesn't undergo any change, that is why kalatraya api. In 3 periods of time, it continues to exist. There are no periods of time for Sat. The periods of time, past, present, future, it's only for you, not for Atma. Not for the Atma, because it is Sat. When you say Sat, it is timeless existence, not bound by time, not limited by time. Therefore, when you negate a thing, you cannot negate the existence. As we saw in the example, when the tree is negated, plant is. When the plant is negated, the sprout is. When the sprout is negated, seed is. When the seed is negated, fruit is. When the fruit is negated, flower is. When the flower is negated, again, the plant tree is. And plant tree also, we can do the same thing. It goes on and on. Similarly, with regard to the individual, the body also, when the shariram, stula shariram is negated, sukshma shariram is. When the sukshma shariram is negated, karana shariram is. When the karana shariram is negated, atma alone is continuous. So that alone it continues. That is why we say it is absolute existence. That alone exists. So everything is negatable, but not this Sat, Atma. The Sat, the Astitvam, that is the Lakshana. So, therefore, you can negate everything, and finally, that which cannot be negated is existence, and that is the Lakshanam of Atma. That Atma is you. You cannot negate yourself. Everything you can negate. With reference to this body example, you can negate the Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, all the Sharirams, the components of the Shariram you can negate. After negating everything, what is left out? That which cannot be negated. That is Sat, that is Atma. So in me, that I can see that existence as Atma. In an object, we should have that insight to see that existence as Atma. In the Jagat, the whole Jagat, as you negate, as you analyze and negate the objects, as you analyze and negate yourself, the individual, the Shariram. Similarly, the whole Jagat, Samashti also can be analyzed. The negation of everything, that which doesn't get negated at the level of Samashti, that is Brahma, that is Bhagavan alone exists. The whole Prapancha you can negate. When the Stula Prapancha is negated, we are going to discuss later how the Stula Prapancha came into existence. The Stula Prapancha is Kalpita on Brahma existence. Stula Prapancha is alone at the level of Samashti, total. It is this Prapancha, this universe is Kalpita on that. Therefore, Stula Prapancha is. And when you negate the Stula Prapancha, then Sukshma Prapancha is there. And when you negate Sukshma Prapancha, Karana Prapancha exists. And when you negate Karana Prapancha, Maya alone exists. And when you even negate Maya, that of being Mithya, that existence alone exists, and that is Brahma. We call it as Brahma, Ishvara, Bhagavan. That Brahma at the level of Samashti, on which everything is Kalpita, at the level of Karana, Sukshma, and Stula levels. Similarly, at the level of Vyashti, the individual, everything is Kalpita on this Atma. So Atma in the individual and Brahma at the total level, they are same. That is the oneness, and that is what the author is going to present. Now we are discussing at the level of the individual. Analysis at the level of individual. So therefore, this Sat should not be thrown, should not be negated along with the negation of the object. That is the mistake we do. That is why when the Shariram, Stula Shariram is destroyed, we lament for the loss of the Shariram. Shariram is destroyed. It is bound to get destroyed. It comes in time and goes away in time. But you, the Atma, the Sat, that alone renders existence this Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, that Atma, Akalpita Atma, that it continues because it is not subject to any limitation, time-wise limitation, therefore space-wise limitation. It doesn't have destruction. That is why Bhagavan Krishna says in the Gita, Natve Vaham Jatu Nasam, Nattam Neme Janadipaha iti. Not that you were not there before. Not that I was not there before. It means you were there all the time, I was there all the time. We were there all the time, and we are going to be there all the time. So what is really Maranam, the death? It is only a change of the Mithya, the Namarupa. The Namarupa is Mithya. The change happening to that is only is called Jananam, and that is Maranam. The existence cannot be destroyed. In science also we say the same thing. Energy cannot be destroyed. Energy which disappears will appear in another form. Only the form changes. Potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. The water which is stored in the dam, potential, that's called potential energy. When it is let out, that converted into kinetic energy. That's kinetic energy. When the water is made to flow through a turbine, it becomes electrical energy. And the electrical energy becomes light energy when it is connected and distributed for the houses. And the light energy is converted into heat energy. So all the way there is a conversion of energy, but energy exists. We cannot destroy it. We cannot destroy even an ounce of energy. If that is so, how can this existence be destroyed? Not possible. That is why Avinashi tu Tatviddi Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, the second chapter, up to this 39th shloka, Bhagavan talks about Atma Lakshanam. He talks about the Atma Lakshanam. There he talks about this Sat, that indestructibility of the Atma. Why? Because it is Sat. So therefore, that existence, and that is Atma. So that existence is Atma. That is one of the Lakshanam. Therefore, Atma Tarhikaha Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha Sat Kim Kalatrayepi Tishtati Iti Sat. So Sat alone is ever existence. That which gives existence to everything, it is Sat. And that doesn't have limitation. That is the meaning. When you say I am at the level of individual, if you take I am, what is this am? Am is Sat. Similarly, Uttama Purusha, you are, you exist. But R is Sat. Similarly, he is, she is, that is, it is. Everywhere this isness is there. Pratama Purusha, Atava, Madhyama Purusha, Atava, Uttama Purusha. Astitvam, Sarvatra Vartate Eva. Everywhere this Astitvam is there. In the language, you may change the verb. Astistaha Santi, Asistaha Sta, Asmi, Swaha, Smaha. Depending on the Purusha, depending on the Vachanam, you may change. In every language, English also same. Is, are, am. You do it. So, Aham Asmi. In Sanskritam, Aham Asmi. I am. Tvam Asi. You are. Saha Asti. That is. This Aham Asmi. Asmi. The Aham is Atma. Atma Asmi. I am. That Asmi means that Asdatu. That existence. I am. When it comes to the Pratama Purusha, he is. Saha Asti. The same Asdatu. Only the Pratyaya is changed. But the existence, the meaning is existence only. That existence is common. Whether it is me or you or anybody else, the third person, and with reference to objects and things, it is Asmi, Asti, Asti, all this, nothing but the Kriya Padam in the language we use that denotes existence. The content is only Sat. Grammatically, with reference to different Purusha, that Sat, the pure Sat, the existence, is referred to as Asmi. When I refer to myself, when I refer to you, it is Asi. When I refer to something else other than you and me, it is Asti. That is why Agam Asmi. Agam Brahma Asmi. That is the understanding. That is the Mahavakya we are going to see. Agam Brahma Asmi. When you say Agam Asmi, Asmi is Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. And I is there. Therefore, Agam Asmi. If it is Bhagavachanam, Vayam, Smaha we say. Again, Smaha is also Asti only. Many are there, therefore, that Astitvam has not multiplied. The same as it is only one Sat that is there among all of us when you refer to all of us. When we refer to all of us, Vayam, Smaha iti. So, the same Sat alone in the language, for the sake of the usage, we have different words, different Kriya Padams. But Asmi alone it is. That Asmi, when I refer to third person, it is Asti. Asti, that is Sat, that exists. Therefore, Sat alone exists. When I say Agam Asmi, means I, the Atma, exist. When you say Tvam Asi, you, the Atma, exist. Saha Asti, that or he, the Atma, exist. And that he or I or you can have so many kalpita, so many superimpositions. We can have a name, You can have a form. When I say Aham, what is that Aham is? This is a body is Aham. We use that every day. Vyavahara we use. Without Aham, there is no Vyavahara. Without Tvam, we don't do any Vyavahara. But what does it mean? Aham Asmi. Aham referring to what? Is this body? The body is available for your objectification. You can see it is when it is third person. It is third person because you can see it, you can perceive it. It is available for your perception. You can touch it, you can smell it. It's an object. Therefore, it is asti. Therefore, body cannot be you. And also, it has got many parts. Therefore, it is third person. So, when you say Agam Asmi, it doesn't refer to your body then. Can you refer to your mind? Mind again also, Sukshma Shariram, part of the Sukshma Shariram, whether it is mind or the Indriyas, Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Prana. Prana also available for your objectification. You can sense your prana, whether the prana is hot or it is cool, or how the prana functions, how the mind functions, how the buddhi functions. Buddhi is, all these are available for your objectification. You can know what vritti, what thought comes up in your mind. So mind, buddhi, available for your objectification. It is an object, therefore it cannot be you. Because Agam, the subject, you're saying, how can, when you objectify something, that can be you. Therefore, that also not the, can it be Karana Shariam? That also cannot be. Karana Shariam is avidya. We say avidya means ignorance. And that also you know. In sleep, you may not know, but after getting from the sleep, you know, I am completely ignorant. That is also available for objectification. You know. So everything is available for your knowledge. And agam, you are referring to so many things. What is this agam? That asmi, what you say, that is agam. The agam, the atma, which is pure existence, what you refer to by the word asmi all the time, that is atma, that is sat, that exists all the time, doesn't have destruction. That is what we say, satyam. Asti means existence. Asmi is existence. Asi is existence. That existence, that is satyam. That is the truth. That alone exists. Therefore, satyam. Satyam, sat. Satyam jnanam anantam. Satchit ananda. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma is Sat. Satyam. Satyam is Sat. And it is Jnanam. Jnanam, Chit. Anandaha, Anantaha. Doesn't have limitation. Anantaha. So, therefore, Aham Satyam. Satya Atma. Atma, which is Satya, which is the truth, which alone exists, nothing other than me, the Atma. You have to say Atma is me. Atma is not again the Prathama Purusha or Madhyama Purusha. It is very myself. So this Atma is alone exists. Nothing exists. It doesn't mean that in me the Atma is there, in you one Atma is there, in other person another Atma is there. So many Atmas, no. Atma alone, one Atma alone exists everywhere. In me, with reference to this individual, Agamasmi, I say for Vyavahara. With reference to you, it is Tomasi. With reference to any object of the world, with any objects of the world, that Atma is represented by the word Asti. Agam Asmi, first person, it is Uttama Purusha. Madhyama Purusha, Tvam Asi. Anything other than you and me is Prathama Purusha, which is this Jagat, the objects of the Jagat. They are Prathama Purusha. They all come under Asti only. Only three divisions are there. So everything is Atma, everything is Sat, Satya, Atma. That is what we refer to by the word Brahma iti. Brahma at the samashti level, Atma when we say at the Vashti level. Therefore, Atma is Brahma. It means I am Brahma. I am everything. Brahma is everything. And Atma at the Vashti level. Therefore, I am Brahma. I am everything. So, I am everything means not only this limited individual. You can say that I am everything. He can say I am everything. That is, everything is Brahma. So, it means you are not different from me. He is not different from you. And she is not different from me. So that Brahma, I am everything. I, the Brahma, am everything, all pervading. This Upadhi Shariram, as though confines, as though limits this Sat. This Upadhi being Mithya, it is negatable. After negating, what is there is me, pure me alone. Me is within, it's a capital, me, that Atma alone. From me alone, everything has come. From me alone, everything has come. In me alone, everything exists, and me alone, everything finally resolves. Mayeva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pratishtitam, mayi sarvam layam yati, tad brahma, advayam brahma, agamasmi, mahavakya. Tat brahma, from which everything came into existence, this prapancha, jagat, that which is by which everything is sustained, into which everything finally resolves, that Brahma is me, myself. Therefore, there is no difference. The difference also is negated. There are no many existences, only one existence, that alone is there. So that alone is. Everything else is kalpita. So the time is a big maya. That is why through the definition of time, the definition of Sat is presented. When time itself is negated, everything stands negate. So that is Sat. We have discussed Sat elaborately. Now, the next definition, next Lakshana is Chit. They are not different. Sat and Chit, they are not different. As I told before, they are not adjective to Sat. It is not like Nilotpalam when we say Neela Utpalam, that water lily. Lily is a lily, the word we have to use. Why? Because lotus is there, hibiscus is there, jasmine is there, many other flowers are there. Among the many flowers, a particular flower, I'm talking about lily. So you have to say lily. Lily is what? Lily flower. The flower is qualified by lily. Blue lily flower. Nilot, Nila Utpala Pushpa. Nila Utpala Pushpa. Pushpa, the flower is there. The flower is qualified by lily because other flowers are there. I want to negate other flowers, and therefore lily I use. And among the lilies, there are lilies of different colors. But I am referring to a blue lily, Neela Utpala. Right? So, therefore, here, this blue lily, all these are adjective to the flower. Because there are many, therefore, you have to qualify it. You have to narrow it down. Narrow it down, and therefore, adjectives are required. For Atma, it is not like that. Because it doesn't have attributes, it doesn't have qualities. So, Sat Chit Anandaha Atma is. Atma alone is. How can that Atma can be qualified by Sat, can be qualified by Chit and Ananda? Therefore, these are not the Visheshana, the adjectives, like the Neela, Utpala qualifying Pushpa. These are the Lakshana. Atma is Sat Chit Anandaha. Sat part we have discussed, and the Sat alone is Chit. And the Chit alone is Ananda Swarupaha. And what is the Chit? That is the next definition, next topic. So Chit, what is Chit? Chit is consciousness. Chit is Chaitanyam. It is consciousness. We talked about existence. Let us take a simple example. I am, when you say, I am is that. The am is existence. What is this I? What is this I? I is the Atma, the consciousness. The existence the existence of anything. You have got the awareness of the existence of a thing. The awareness is the awareness means you are conscious of a thing. You are conscious of an object. You are conscious. When you say I am, this I, the Atma, and this the consciousness, they are not different. They are one and the same. I, the consciousness, or the same. I, the consciousness. And that consciousness exists because the consciousness, the Chaitanyam is. Therefore, only the objects are available for your recognition. Because of that, only the objects are available for your recognition. The objects are evident to you. The objects are evident to you because you are there. Because you are there. You, the Atma is there. Because of you, everything is recognized. Everything comes to light. Because you, the light is there, because of which everything comes to light. If you take this same example, tree is, when you say tree is, the tree is, it is evident to me. The tree is evident to me because I see it. The fire is evident to me, either directly or indirectly. Even when you see a smoke on the fire, smoke on the top of the mountain, when you see smoke on the top of the mountain, you infer fire. The fire is, it's even though it is an anumana, it is by anumana pramana, it is evident. I don't have a tree on my hand. It is evident. That is also evident to me. It is by a pramana, anupalabdhi, non-apprehension. It is evident. So all these are evident to me. My book is evident to me. The table is evident to me. The water is evident to me. The glass is evident to me. Everything is evident to me. For the object to be evident, you are required. You have to be there. For everything, you require the evidence. You have to be there, and it is evident to me. You are there, and it is, you means I'm there. Therefore, the objects are evident to me. So, without me, these objects will not be evident. Will not be the evident. The objects I can recognize only when it is evident to me. The object is evident to me. It means I have to be there. And I have to objectify the object. The knowledge of the object takes place in me. For that, I have to be there. The consciousness, the consciousness has to be there. The Atma has to be there. Now, this Atma, that is what we are discussing. This Atma, does it require any evidence? Does it require anything to establish its existence? Everything requires an evidence. Everything requires an evidence. Everything becomes evident because of evidence. Everything requires an evidence. What do I require? What evidence I require to establish my evidence, my existence? That is called self-evidency. I don't require any evidence to prove my existence, my astitvam. Agam asti, I said astitvam, this Atma is asti. How do I know that I exist? How do I know that I exist? Tree exists because it is evident to me. I see it. It is available for objectification. I see it that the tree exists. The truth of the tree is existence, Sat, that we have discussed. Now, the tree as an object available it's available as an object available for me. It is evident to me. Because I am there, it is evident to me. The tree is evident to me. The deers are evident to me. So everything is evident because of me. And what evidence is required to prove my astitvam, my evidence, my existence? I don't require any evidence because I, the Atma, it is chitta, it is awareness, it is consciousness. Its nature is consciousness, and the consciousness alone exists. So that existence and consciousness, they are not different. That is why when we use the word I am, I, the Atma, the consciousness, am, the Atma, the existence. They are one and the same. I exist. Because of me, everything becomes evident to me. Everything requires the evidence Atma to establish their existence. But I don't require any evidence to establish my existence because I am self-evident. I am self-evident. So Atma, awareness or consciousness, any word you use, it is self-evident. It is self-revealing Chaitanyam, the consciousness. Sun is there. Sun is there, sunlight is required. In the presence of sunlight, the objects are recognized. The object becomes evident because of the sunlight. When the object comes under the influence of the sunlight, when the sun throws its light on the object, when it reaches my eyes, the object becomes evident. So for the object to shine, we need the sunlight. The sunlight, for the object to shine, the sunlight is required. For the sunlight to shine, what is required? I should have the light in my eyes. I should have the light in my eyes. Then only I can see the sunlight. A blind person doesn't know the sun. He cannot see the sun. So the sun becomes, to recognize the sun, I must have the light in my eyes. Light means the vision. Then eyes alone is sufficient. No. The buddhi, the antakaranam is required. In the antakaranam, the sun vritti, the thought of sun is there, and that has to be lighted up. Then only I can recognize the sun thought in my buddhi. Though through the eye, I see the sun, and the thought of the sun appears in my mind in the form of the vritti, and the vritti has to be lighted up. What lights up that vritti? Only when it is lighted up, then only sun becomes evident to me. Otherwise, even the sun which lights up everything, that becomes unevident. If the buddhi vritti is not lighted up, what is that which lighted up? What is that light by which everything is lit up? Directly, I'm taking the example of the sun. Why? Because sun is that because of which everything is lit up. And sun also is lit up by the light which lights up the vritti of my mind. What is that light which lights up even the vritti of my mind? That is this Chaitanyam, this Chitta, this consciousness. That doesn't require any light. Even in the absence of the sun, the light always it is. It lights up my antakranam vivritti. It lights up everything. Even the darkness is lit up by this light. In the presence of sunlight, sun, the objects are lit up, and the objects are evident to me because of this self-evident Atma Chaitanyam. In the absence of sun also, the darkness, the complete darkness is there. That also becomes evident to me. That also is illumined by this Chaitanyam alone. Darkness cannot be illumined by the sun. If the darkness is illumined by the sun, it is no more a darkness. So, therefore, everything becomes evident to me in the presence of me, that which is self-evident, that doesn't require any evidence, that doesn't require anything to lit up. That is the Jyotihi, that Jyoti is this consciousness. We use the word Jyoti. Jyoti means light, not the physical light. The light means that shine, that shining, the knowledge. Light means the shine, the knowledge. So this Atma is consciousness. When we say, we should not think of any physical light. It is knowledge, the presence of which every knowledge takes place. So the knowledge in the presence of which every knowledge takes place. Minus this knowledge, no knowledge can take place. When you see a tree, the tree knowledge takes place. Why? When I see the tree vritti, that the vritti happens in the buddhi, and the buddhi is lit up. Buddhi is also jadam. Remember, the mind is also jadam. There is a transaction between the I and the object, what comes under my vision, and that mind takes the shape of the object, what I see. When only it is illumined, that knowledge takes place. What illumines that? How that comes to my awareness. That is because this Chaitanyam is there. Chaitanyam alone is because of which the tree, the buddhi vritti, that becomes lit up, is lit up. That comes to my awareness. That comes to my evidence. That comes to me for my appreciation, that existence of the tree or any object. Now the question is, how this is lit up. This need not get lit up by anything, because this is self-lit up, self-evident, self-shining, it is knowledge. It is knowledge. Why we call knowledge? Because it makes me aware of the objects. Therefore, it's called knowledge. And the knowledge of that is what self-knowledge, that is what Tattvabodha is. That is what Tattvabodha, that is what Atmabodha is. The knowledge of that knowledge is different. It is not one of the objectifying knowledge. Need to understand this. That cannot be objectified. Everything is objectified, but that which lights up everything, that which makes everything come to my awareness, that cannot be objectified, because it is me. It is me, the Shuddha Chaitanyam, that pure consciousness, that alone exists. Therefore, the consciousness and existence, they are not different. I, the consciousness, am the existence. Even though two words are used, they both mean the same. Consciousness and Atma. Atma is a Sat, and consciousness and Atma, they are not different. That's different words we are using, but it means the same. So the consciousness and existence, they are not different. So therefore, I, the consciousness, am the existence. Therefore, Sat and Chit. Therefore, Atma and consciousness. Atma meaning I, and the consciousness, they are not different. I and the consciousness are not different. I and the existence are not different. So I, the consciousness, alone exist. I, the Atma, the consciousness, alone exists. It means what? My Swarupam is this Chaitanyam, which is self-evident, self-revealing. It doesn't require anything for its appreciation, for its evidence. It is self-evident. All the objects are recognized or they become evident because of this consciousness, because of Atma. Everything in the world is recognized as existent objects because of this Atma. Everything, every knowledge is because of Atma. Every Ajnanam is also because of this Atma, because this alone lifts up everything. This alone makes everything come to my awareness. That is Chit. We have to discuss more on Chit. Sat part we have done. Chit part we will see. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद.